And welcome to all of you to Stonebridge Christian Church. My name is Christy Bebermeyer. Your program will show that Theo Hudala is the one doing the welcome, but that is not me. He has a sick child and I'm filling in for him today. So for those of you that are not acquainted with me already, I actually was the preschool director for the Omaha location last year. And now I oversee both preschools, both Millard and Omaha. We are so excited that you're here today. This is the very first Christmas program for our very first year of the Millard Preschool. Yes! I know your kids have been working so hard, and I'm just as excited as you are to see what they've done this year. Thanks for being here.
Do you like Christmas? Do you know who Jesus is?
He's a king.
Was he born as a king?
No,
How was he born?
as a baby.
Where was he born at?
Had a small barn.
And did he have a mom and a dad?
Yes.
Do you know who they were?
No.
Hi. Who was his mama?
Mary.
And who was his daddy?
Joseph.
Who else was there, do you know?
God.
Were the angels there?
Yeah. Christmas is Jesus' birthday.
And who was Mary and Joseph?
Jesus' dad and mom.
Where was Jesus born?
And a stable.
Why was he born in a stable?
Because there's no more rooms.
Who came to visit Jesus?
The shepherds.
Who else?
The wise men.
Wise men.
We have a one that you can look at. It's on the fireplace and one down below, and we have a Playmobil one.
Oh, you
A
do?
play one.
Hannah, who was Jesus? Was he a baby? Was he born at Christmas? And where was he born? Away in the...
Jesus was
Hi guys, Merry Christmas. It's one of those times of year, like spending time with preschoolers like really helps me kind of keep my perspective as far as the season goes. I typically am a person, I'm bubbly, I'm joyful, and so it's easy to get caught up in the glittering lights and just the joy of this season. But as a grown-up, I'm sure some of you guys know life is hard, and so we kind of lose the wonder of Christmas. Those of you who know me a little bit know that this isn't my only job. I also work at a residential facility that's an alternative to detention for young men ages 10 to 18. A little bit of a contradiction to my little preschool world here. The other day I took some of these boys, we went out on an outing, and I'm old enough to be most of their mothers, and so a lot of times they call me mom or stepmom or godmom or whatever, and so we were driving around and I said, okay guys, you want to know what it's really like to be my kid? And they're like, yeah, and so I quickly turned on my Rockin' Christmas station on Pandora and turned it up loud, and I'm singing at the top of my lungs, and we're driving around looking at Christmas lights. Well, eventually 3 of the 4 young men that were with me embraced the moment and started singing with me, but the one kid, he was just not having it. And later I kind of talked to him and I was like, I said, the more you disliked what we were doing, the more the other boys had to make it more obnoxious than it was. And he said, Miss, he said, Christmas is just hard for me. And this is a 15-year-old young man, and he said, Christmas is hard for me. He says, I've lost my grandparents around Christmas time, and so he starts sharing this with me, and it really made me stop and think about all of the things in life that can distract us from the joy and the wonder of the season. I think there's a 15-year-old kid teaching me this lesson, and I got to thinking about, as a grown-up, all of the things that distract me. The hustle and the bustle, we get distracted by our to-do list, our shopping list, and then just the normal everyday grown-up stuff, paying bills, like the laundry, the dishes, those sorts of things, and it's really easy to lose the sight of what this season is about. And really, there's so much more that goes on in the month of December. Our schedule doesn't stop just because it's the holidays. In fact, for most of us, it gets busier. For me, I know why we celebrate this season, but it sometimes gets lost in the madness. Something about working with preschoolers, though, is that you start to see the wonder and the magic of the season. When you stop and you look at it through the eyes of a child, you start to catch a glimpse of that magic. The simplicity of believing in a man in a red suit that delivers your presents, or the 8 tiny reindeer that pull his sleigh around the whole world in one night. It's easy to see why kids love Christmas so much. For me, spending time with your kiddos has really given me some perspective this year. The magic and the wonder of Christmas isn't only in the pretty lights, the festive music, the feel-good Hallmark movies, family traditions, or Santa and his reindeer. The magic and the wonder of Christmas really started with that very first Christmas night. If you think about it, a young girl who was pregnant as a virgin, the man who stayed by her side, a king born in a barn, the angels that were singing, shepherds following the star to find the new king. And that was just the beginning. All the wonder in the world doesn't compare to the God of the universe that sent his son to save the whole world. As you celebrate Christmas, this magical and wonderful season with your family, don't forget to include the real wonder of the season. At Stonebridge Preschool, we love your kids, and we take what we do very seriously. We want to give your child a solid foundation to their education and to also their faith. I'm asking you to strive to include the wonder of the original Christmas season in all of your celebrations. Luke 2 gives a quick rundown of the Christmas story in the early years of Jesus' life, and it ends with a statement in verse 52. It says, and Jesus grew in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and man. And this is my goal for not only my own children, but for your children as well when they come here to Stonebridge Preschool. My encouragement for you today is to slow down, catch the wonder, and just catch a glimpse of that in your family Christmas traditions and celebrations. Something simple that we do at my house, I shared with some of you on family night, is that story, The Crippled Lamb. I have some sort of children's story or something that we sit down around the Christmas tree and we read a story before we get caught up in the packages and the presents and all of that. There's lots of great children's books out there that you guys could incorporate something like that into your own celebrations. The kids see, it's very easy for them. They see the magic and the wonder of all the things this time of year. And that makes it the best time to teach them about the wonder of our King. Thank you so much for sharing your kiddos with us and trusting us with them. We love your children. And at Stonebridge, we want you to also know that you have a place that you can come and celebrate the season with us. We do have several services on Christmas Eve. We have 2 in the morning, 9:30 and 11 a.m., but then also one at 4:30 in the afternoon. So our hope is that you will take time to celebrate the birth of Jesus and remember the wonder of that first Christmas.
What do you love the most about Christmas?
Toys for giving presents, and Santa comes down the chimney and gives you the presents.
Who comes down?
Santa. You lay down and sleep, and then Santa comes while we're sleeping. Everyone hangs up Christmas tree for Santa to put presents under the Christmas tree.
Do you like presents, Anthony?
I love to open it.
What do you want for Christmas?
Oh, yeah. A race car and a race car track and some cars and one more thing. Oh, a drawing, some markers with some regular paper.
What do you want this year?
American Ball.
Christmas.
A Lego fire station.
Do you want any presents for Christmas?
Yes.
What do you want?
I want lots of hot car stuff. I love hot cars.
You do. And do racing. Hannah, what would you like for Christmas?
How about a big playset?
Does Santa bring it to you? Who brings it? Santa. Santa does? So you play all Christmas Day? Do you like presents? Does Santa come visit you?
Yay.
He does?
Yeah.
What does he bring?
Present.
What would you like this year?
Present. Thomas.
You want a Thomas?
Yes. A snowflake, like Mom does.
Okay.
And I want Barbie for Harper.
Barbie for Harper. Oh. Do you love your sister?
Yep.
Do you love your family? How much do you love your family? 10. How much do you love your family?
A lot.
Can you show me?
This.
How much do you love your family?
We have a merry-go-round. Big Christmas.
What's on your merry-go-round?
Watching the horses, and it sings songs, and one of the songs is Jingle Bells. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells. All the fun is there when I sing this song. Hey, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. All the fun is there when I sing this song. Merry Christmas.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the jingle bells. Merry Let me hear you say,
Jingle bell, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one open sleigh. Hey, jingle bell, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one open sleigh. Jingle bell, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one open sleigh. Hey, jingle bell, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one open sleigh. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. Good tidings of Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, Mom and Daddy. Now can I go to Grandma and Grandpa?
Thanks again for coming and sharing your Saturday morning with us. There are some really cute little elves out here. If you guys want to stop and take pictures with them, with the kiddos, they would love that. You guys, your kids work so hard. Like these actions and stuff, they have worked so hard. You should be very, very proud. And I couldn't do it without my teachers, Miss Glow and Miss Lana, and I'm very, very thankful that we're on this team together for the first year of Millard Preschool here. So thank you so much for coming and have a really, really blessed Christmas season. Thank you.